Yeah, you're starting the only 3 forwards that you have that are dressed to play tonight in Melton, Skipper, and Rivera, and you're starting them in the starting lineup, so you are absolutely right. Barry working the ball around against a 2-3 zone. Probably see a little bit more of that, a little less full court pressure just because of only 8 players. Really good job with that zone. Melton with a good closeout, but Kennedy Lee knocks down a 3, and Barry's on the board first, a half a minute into this ball game.
Yeah, and again, maybe not quite as much picking up full court pressure. That was just a good job by Lee stepping into the gap against the 2-3, finding the open 3 and knocking it down.
Stormy Petrel's opening up there with America's play, that double screen that opened the door to get your shooter through. That was Morgan Skipper, and then closed the door to get her a shot. Tucker with the head fake, spins, gets it to Melton deep in the shot clock. She spins, left-hander off the backboard, off the rim, no good. And Elizabeth Searsant with the rebound brings it down.
Barry, a team that when you look at their stats, we're going to get a foul underneath. Don't score a ton of points. Actually, we're going to get a travel there. Score 64.5. They give up 61.5. So a team that's been, good as far as winning games, but it's not like they're running people out of the gym. And you mentioned the real close matchup that these two teams played earlier on.
Yeah, that walking call, that early whistle had me worried because it looked like Camaria Rivera had a little bit of a reach there. I thought they might have get her. Morgan Skipper buries a 3. We love to see that because we know she can get hot and stay hot.
And I guess my idea of no pressure is out the window immediately. Olivia Tucker picking up full court, as was Rose Delmovich, and now they drop back into a 2-3.
Yeah, a little bit of token pressure there. They were the only 2 down there. Again, maybe caused some unforced errors. Kennedy Lee from the left elbow in and out. Rivera with the rebound, thought she got popped in the back of the head. No call. Matter of fact, she probably did because Ellie Gearing just said, I'm sorry about that. Tucker sets it up. Barry's in man-to-man. Looking inside to Rivera. Looked like they had her. Gearing on her back at only 5'9". Rivera is going to hit a turnaround off of a quick dribble, and she puts the Stormy Petrels up 5-3, and now we do see that 2-2-1 full court.
You said man-to-man. It almost looked a little junk defense, as almost they were going to come at Camaria with a double team. They had a defender kind of just lingering in the paint, not really guarding anybody.
You're right. They did run a double from the backside. Kennedy Lee again, left open again. Barry's patience. And Coach Ritchie imploring Malia Melton, get out there on the closeout. Skipper's going to get her own 3, and this one's off the rim. Melton with great hustle comes up with the offensive rebound and the putback, and Oglethorpe goes back up 7-6. Barry's only points on those 2 Kennedy Lee 3-pointers.
Yeah, Kennedy Lee on the year shooting 37% from downtown. They've got a couple of people that can knock it down, including Sydney Blankenship, who shoots it at 36.9%. So got to close out there whenever you can.
There, Alex Ritchie telling Camaria Rivera 2 hands straight up because she got caught with her right hand in a cookie jar and picked up that early foul we were hoping to see her avoid. Just barely 3 minutes into the contest, Rivera picks up her first foul. 7-6, Oglethorpe leads. We see the first substitutions of the game for Oglethorpe. Gabby Hudson checks in, as does Charity Cloud.
One of the good things, though, we've seen with Camaria throughout the year is even when she's gotten into foul trouble, she's avoided, going too far. It might be an early foul, and then she's able to kind of control herself because, she doesn't get any fouls down on the offensive end of the floor, which is great. Her footwork is impeccable. So as long as she's not reaching, she's usually pretty good.
Skipper looking to post up there. Charity Cloud's going to drive. She's going to miss. Rivera on her putback. Misses. Barry with the ball. That 2-3 zone again. Charity Cloud, Skipper, and Rivera down low. Charity Cloud with a good closeout. Missed shot from Sydney Blankenship. Skipper with the rebound. Tucker's going to push it up.
I think tonight's a night that Gabby Hudson will be back on point some. Because, again, Michaela Primo out with a foot injury.
Yeah, Hudson 11 rebounds in Sunday afternoon's game against So really great job on the board. She has that ability. And really does a nice job. Malia Melton's going to check back in. She's going to get Kamaria Rivera, give her a breather. Tucker will inbound under. Skipper, Cloud, Melton, and Hudson on the floor for Oglethorpe. Nice pass entry. Hudson with a little bit of shimmy, shimmy coconut. Moved both feet on her shot at the free throw line, called for the travel. 7 up here, 4 minutes into the ball game.
I think Gabby's looking and go, wait a second, James Harden can take 3 steps back and shoot a 3 and nobody calls that, so why am I getting called down in the painted area?
That's John's way of saying, young people, if you're watching the NBA, please don't do what they do. Ellie Gearing from the left elbow knocks down that jumper. Puts Barry up 2.
Barry's done a good job so far finding open shots against the 2-3 zone.
Talk about a catch and spin move. She just left 2 defenders in her wake. Malia Melton with the layup ties it at 9.
Love the way Olivia Tucker plays defense. So demonstrative, head bouncing around, facial expressions.
Ellie Callahan off the mark, twice off the rim. Tucker's going to push it up the floor. They got a 4-on-2. Doesn't have her head on the swivel, and Ellie Gearing poke steal from behind. Morgan Skipper, good job there, taking away any 3-point opportunity from Kennedy Lee.
That's one where you would have liked to see your teammates yelling, back, 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 just to kind of look from behind.
Absolutely, your teammates have to communicate. They were seeing what was happening coming from behind. Barry up 2 here, under the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. Melton posting up inside. Tucker with the dribble probe to Hudson at the free throw line. She tries to get it to Charity Cloud. Looked like it did go off Ellie Gearing, and that is the call. Charity Cloud doing a nice job to knock it off Gearing. Rose Delmovich and Kamaria Rivera back at the table. They're going to check in, but first we're going to get a media timeout with the score. The Berry College Vikings 11, the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels 9.
Very even so far, 4 of 7 from the floor for Berry College, 57%. They have hit a couple of threes. That's obviously given them the lead. Oglethorpe 4 of 8 from the floor, so 50% from the floor. Berry is the only one that's attempted a free throw. They're 1 of 2 from the line. 2-3 zone has been okay so far, but not great. Barry's done a great job moving the ball side to side and finding gaps. They found a couple of nice 15-foot jumpers. And the tough thing, again, sometimes when you're thinking about not fouling, you don't quite play as aggressive on the defensive end. And I think that may be the case that we're seeing right now so far for your Stormy Petrels.
Yeah, again, one thing that I'm impressed with a little bit early is Barry's patience on the offensive end. A lot of times teams against a 2-3 zone will try to force something. They've been really patient, and then they've gotten a quick reversal for 2 of those Kennedy Lee 3-pointers.
One of the toughest things to teach is that ball reversal, where the person that you're looking at may not always be the most open. Great inbound play there. Morgan Skipper able to catch it, hook that one up and in for a basket to tie it up.
Melton went down and came up a little gimpy with her ankle. I think she stepped on a Barry player's foot. She's defending okay right there. Interesting, looks like they are back into a man-to-man, so a little bit of a change up from Alex Ritchie. Looks like they're switching 1 to 5. Steerzant off the mark. Melton with the rebound. She's going to get it to Tucker. Tucker for 3 from the right wing. Pure. Nothing but net. Puts Oglethorpe up 3, 14-11.
And she did something you love to teach young players or even college-age players. Get in the triple threat position where you can pass, you can shoot, or you can dribble. And Olivia did that and then was able to come up with a knockdown jumper and a lead.
3-pointer off the mark. That one comes from Sydney Blankenship. Oglethorpe off to the races again. Melton with a nice job on the jump stop there to avoid a travel. Delmovich going inside. You talked about them running the double. Rivera trying to pass to a cutting Melton, but the ball was deflected back to Barry. Kennedy Lee with the ball. Lee's going to put it on the bounce, dish it off and in. Baseline jumper from McKenna Lentich. McKenna out of Dalton, Georgia, knocks it down, cuts the margin to 1. Rivera, great job. Was waiting on that call, and they finally got a little bit of a late whistle. Rivera with a great step-through power dribble.
Would like to see her get that one up off the backboard. Yeah. Unfortunately, she hit the side of the backboard without. Dalton, is that our carpet capital of the world?
It is.
And up towards Tennessee.
Yeah, absolutely. McKenna out of Southeast Whitfield High School. Kamaria Rivera now goes to the free throw line, first time tonight. First free throw is off the right side of the rim and no good. Oglethorpe up 1. Rivera came into this ball game at a 73% clip from the free throw line, and she is absolutely pure on the second one, right through the net. Oglethorpe up now 2. Charity Cloud back in the game. Gabby Hudson's back in the game. They're in the front of that, what looks to be a 2-1-2. Although they're picking up man. Yep, they did pick up full court man. Alex Ritchie mixing it up on defense. And that is Elizabeth Searzant blowing by Rose Domovich there, and Domovich fouls her, and Searzant will go to the free throw line for 2, trying to tie it at 15.
And that's, again, one when you're only dressing 8. Once she's already blown by, you hate to say give one up, but sometimes giving up a layup might be better than picking up a foul.
Exactly. Searzant does miss the first one. She can cut into the deficit but not tie it up. She does cut into the deficit, 15-14 Oglethorpe. Just under 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Very controlled rhythm to this game. Melton and Rivera working inside. Hudson, Cloud, and Domovich working on the perimeter. Nice inside dish. Melton to Rivera. Great box out from Rose Domovich, and she's going to put it up and in. That was a great box out on that backside rebound.
And that's a place you normally don't see Rose. Rose is normally a three-point shooter and out on the wing. Good to see her battling down low and come up with a huge stick back and a three-point lead.
Hudson deflects it. Both players kind of cajoling each other, pushing each other. And there's going to be a jump ball, and it is going to go Oglethorpe way. The scoreboard says Oglethorpe ball. The table is trying to, the table is saying, no, I'm sorry, it's Oglethorpe ball.
Yeah, the possession arrow clearly shows Oglethorpe ball. I don't remember who won the jump, and that was 9 minutes ago. I barely remember what happened a minute ago, but the officials are going to agree with the scoreboard, and they're going to send the ball Stormy Petrel way.
Yeah, I think that was the right call. Thomas Johnson, the coach for Berry, had no complaint about that.
He seems to be very well loved. The officials all came up and hugged him.
Oh, boy, I love that as an opposing coach. Melton spins, gets it to Rivera. Rivera from the right wing, 15 feet. Charity Cloud with an offensive rebound. Puts it up, no good. Gotta love that. And you know what? Hudson was hitting the O boards, and she was hooked and held. And Oglethorpe's going to retain the ball. Good call by that official.
Yeah, I think they're going to call that on Kennedy Lee. She had the reach around, kind of hooked her around the hip and wouldn't let Gabby Hudson try to jump up for a rebound.
I gotta love the way these littler guards, you talked about Rose Domovich not normally hitting the boards, Charity Cloud right there hitting the boards, and a real concerted effort here by Oglethorpe. Obviously, Alex Ritchie must have seen something on film that they don't box out well. Skipper to Melton. Melton with the dribble probe, gonna give it up to Domovich. Ball is reversed, a 5 out from Oglethorpe. Melton. Domovich is going to take a 3 off the mark to the left, out of bounds. Berry gives up about 8 or 9 offensive rebounds a game. So that's a norm. It's not like they give up more than they get on the offensive glass.
Man-to-man defense has definitely made it tougher for Berry. Shooting percentage now down to 50. As a matter of fact, they have not hit a shot. And I completely jinxed it since Oglethorpe had switched to man-to-man defense.
Well, just not a good defensive play. You got to see man and ball, And one of our Oglethorpe defenders clearly eye-locked onto the ball and did not see the cutter. Her man cut in behind and got an easy layup out of it. 17-16, Oglethorpe with the ball. About a 15-second differential. Telling you that is a great pass from Malia Melton to Hudson. Hudson didn't have anything. Skipper from the left corner off the mark. Another offensive rebound from Rose Delmovich. They'll have the ball for a last shot. Melton is going to drive all the way, misses an open layup off the glass, and Kennedy Lee gets the rebound and just dribbles it out. So at the end of one, Oglethorpe leads 17-16. John, liked what I saw offensively. We didn't force a lot. We were patient. We really are hitting the offensive boards.
Yep.
And then defensively, we've done a fairly good job. When Barry's been patient, they have gotten some opportunities later in the shot clock.
Talk about some of the things that are going on. Offensive rebounds, how about 7 in the first period so far for the Stormy Petrels? Only 5 defensive rebounds, but they've out-rebounded Barry 12-5. Outside of that, the game has been very even. Barry shooting it better, 6 for 11. Oglethorpe with 7 more shot attempts because of the offensive rebounds. They're only 7 of 18. Really struggled the last half of that first period. A couple of things I look at as we start to move forward, and this season comes to a close, and we look to next year. Malia Melton's had a really, really good year. I'd love to see her in the offseason work on about a 15-foot jumper because she's so good at getting to the rim. When she head fakes, you can see defenders falling off of her. If she can start consistently knocking down that shot, I could see her next year being a 17-point-a-game scorer in this conference.
I'd agree with you completely. You've got to develop that face-up game. We see she's got the athleticism and ability to get to the glass. I also think she's got to finish a little bit better at a higher percentage. But, boy, she adds that 15, 17-foot jumper. She's going to really be a pretty complete offensive player. Over the weekend, she hit a couple more threes, which has really been a growing addition to her game. Thought Kennedy Lee walked as she split 2 defenders. No call. Her left-hand layup puts Barry up on top, 18-17.
Kennedy Lee, a nice game. You know, a couple of three-pointers already. You can see why she's their leading scorer. Has pretty much everything on the offensive end.
You talked about Rivera's footwork, and we saw it there. That, my friends, is called a textbook step-through move with a power dribble and a finish. And that's a foul called on Olivia Tucker. You just can't afford to do that with Primo hurt and on the bench.
Coach Alex Ritchie was out saying, come on, we cannot have that one. Love the defensive pickup and the intensity, but you don't want to have that happen and pick up a cheapie.
It's the 3rd team foul in this first half. Rivera, Delmovich, and now Tucker with fouls called on them.
So like Sylvia Cajaro checking in for the first time for Barry.
Jumper is off the mark. Tucker with the rebound. She'll push it ahead to Melton, 3-on-2. Melton doing a nice job with her head on a swivel. Entry pass stolen from the backside, and that was Lentich. Melton's bounce pass, and you talked earlier about how they're doubling from the backside right there. Rivera had a defender on the high hip, and on the low hip, Lentich came in for the steal. And right there, you talked about Cajaro checking into the game. She checks him with a tray and puts Barry up to 21-19. Nice inside-out pass. Tucker drives off the mark. Rivera with the offensive rebound got a little too far underneath the basket. Her putback goes off the bottom of the backboard. Barry up 2 minutes into the second quarter.
And that one was a little bit congested underneath. Ball's going to be kicked out of bounds by Olivia Tucker. She doesn't agree with the call. She kind of gave the universal hard breath on that one. It's side out. Barry's done a good job now sort of navigating the man-to-man here in the last about 2 minutes to take the lead.
Nice job by Charity Cloud on defense. Forces the ball to go off of McKenna Lentich. And it's Oglethorpe ball down 2. 8 minutes left in the first half.
Stormy Petrels have not, outside of Camaria Rivera, really found an offensive rhythm over the last about 4 minutes.
Charity Cloud, another offensive rebound, fouled on the putback. How about Charity Cloud, the 5'8 freshman, really scrappy on the offensive boards here in the first half.
Out of Whitewater High School, Fayetteville, Georgia. Charity just coming in, taking advantage of her minutes right now. Her minutes have been sort of spotty throughout the year, sometimes playing more, but as Michaela Primo and Olivia Tucker came on the scene, she fell down the depth chart a little bit, but has done a great job so far today.
Cloud struggles from the free throw line, came into this game 4 of 12, missed that one. Had the chance to tie with 2 makes the second to cut the deficit to 1, 21-20. Tucker picking up Kahara. They're in man-to-man. Oglethorpe is in man-to-man, switching everything. Got to see man and ball. Some of those Vikings, this is one of the things, I think that's a bad call unless they call Cloud from behind. It looked like Rivera, they did call Cloud from behind. Okay. I was going to say Rivera looked like she was straight up and down on that one.
Yeah, and that was a big call. If Camaria gets called there, that would have been her second foul and a big conundrum for Coach Ritchie, and he's going to take Camaria out anyway alongside Morgan Skipper, but I think that's more just rest at this point.
Probably see more of a 4-out, 1-in with Melton in or a 5-out. Free throw is off the mark from Sarah Wright. So both teams struggling a little bit from the free throw line. Both teams came in as good free throw shooting teams. Barry at 73% and Oglethorpe at 72.
Sarah was 12 of 16 coming into the game, 75% from the line.
Melton looking at the hoop. Tucker with a good triple threat ball fake. They switch and get Melton isolated on Sarah Wright. Sarah Wright only a 5'5 guard. That isolation caused Wright to foul Melton with the 5'10 Melton and the 5-inch height advantage playing to her favor.
Gabby put that one right down in front of the defender.
Yeah, the big difference in Tucker's triple threat, protecting the ball, has the ability to dribble, pass, or shoot. Hudson just had it with hands on either side of the ball right in her lap, and it got slapped away. Oglethorpe gets it on the alternating possession. Hudson will inbound on the inbound play. Inbound under. Clock says 14 seconds right now.
Don't think that'll be correct. We just started the second period here. I have it listed at 7:08, and there it is. They've just put it back up to 7 minutes and 8 seconds. Kennedy Lee right now leading the way. She's got 9 for Barry. 3 Stormy Petrels with 4 apiece.
Hudson on the drive. Misses the runner off the glass and rim. Barry with the ball coming down with a 2-point lead. Under 7 minutes left in the first half. Little pick and pop action. Ellie Callahan will put it on the floor. She'll miss the driving layup. Cloud with another rebound. Gets it to Tucker, and they push it up the floor.
And I like what Malia Melton did. She kind of pulled the table. Kahoro did a great job stepping in. Malia took 2 dribbles and passed it out. Unfortunately, her momentum went through, and she's going to be called for the offensive foul.
It's part of her maturation that she's got to develop. Her ball handling, the ability to stay under control. She's a great athlete. Sometimes her speed and athleticism gets ahead. Going to call Ellie Callahan on that for a block. She set a screen as Tucker came off of it. Both players went to the floor, and they're going to call it on Callahan. That'll be Callahan's first, I believe.
Tucker going to come out. Cloud going to come out. This is going to put Gabby Hudson on point, which she started the year doing, has sort of played off the ball over the second half of the season. We had talked to her. She said this is the first time maybe in her life that she hasn't had the ball in her hand literally the entire game.
Melton going against Kahora. Yeah, that's Alex Ritchie's got to get her out because that's her second. Kahora does a great job flopping, no doubt about that. There was contact there, but Over-exaggerated, she went to the Olivia Tucker School of Drama.
And speaking of, Olivia Tucker checks right back in for Malia Melton. A little bit of danger time right now. Offense is sort of grinded to a halt over the last 7 or 8 minutes. Only 3 points so far here in the second period.
Well, remember back in December when these two teams played, very methodical 52-51 game. There's Morgan Skipper off the mark from 3, like that in transition, had a wide open look. Looked like her stance was a little off on the catch. She probably needed a rhythm dribble to get into a better form. Searzant defended by Hudson, way off the mark, good defense, but Ellie Gearing comes up with the rebound. 3-pointer off the mark, Kahora with an offensive rebound. Back dribbles and gets things reset.
Kahora's come in and done a good job defensively, has knocked down a 3. Off the mark on that one.
Rose Delmovich with the rebound, another one for Rose. Hudson on the drive, looked like she got hit, she did. It's going to go against Ellie Gearing, and Hudson will go to the free throw line for 2.
One of the things Gabby's been really good at all season long is getting to the rim. You know, as we talk about maturation moving forward, she's one that, again, finishing around the rim in college basketball, a little bit different, and if she can become a little bit more consistent with a knockdown jump shot, she's going to be a deadly player moving forward.
Hudson off the mark, 73% free throw shooter. She's a little off the mark here.
You just think of all the freshmen that Coach Ritchie's playing major minutes this year and how that's going to pay off. And even the growth they've had, Roy, so far this season from where they were back in November, October when we first saw them in a scrimmage to where they are today. It's a night and day difference.
Absolutely. Alex Ritchie and his staff do a great job on player development, and they are growing up, and it'll be fun to see them in the years ahead. No doubt, some talented freshmen. You put some good recruits with them, and this program's just going to get back to its dominance. And Olivia Tucker, to each his own. Kahora called for the charge as Tucker gets belted. Now, that's not acting when you come up with blood coming out of your mouth. She took a pretty good shot there from Kahora and draws the charge. It'll be Oglethorpe ball as we go to the media timeout. 4:55. Thomas Johnson talking to the officials. I'm sure he's saying, you know, she's known for flopping, but the blood in the cut lip is probably a good indicator that that was a great call.
Yeah, and Kahora was not buying that foul at all. She was not happy with it. The problem is when you dip the shoulder and you come up and somebody's head gets snapped backwards like Olivia Tucker's was, officials are going to call that 9 times out of 10. And that's what you saw in that point. We mentioned struggle from the field for Oglethorpe. Just 1 of 6 here in the second period. They have hit a couple of free throws, 2 of 4 there. They were 7 of 18 in the first period, so now all of a sudden you're talking about 8 for 24 from the floor, and that's after getting off to a 4 for 8 start.
Yeah, John, one of the things, and you just, with 8 players dressed tonight, Alex Ritchie and his staff have to continue to roll substitutions in to keep players fresh. Offense is all about rhythm and flow, and when you're substituting a lot like that, especially when that's not the norm, and he's been substituting about every 90 seconds, bringing in a player or two just to keep his players fresh over the course of this entire ball game, that can get you a little bit out of your offensive rhythm.
Not having Michaela Primo to be electric, not having Mia Havica as a knockdown jump shooter. I mean, nothing against Charity
Bell as well.
Carly Bell as well. Charity's done a great job, but she's not normally in here for offensive sets.
Skipper looking inside, gets it to Rivera, but Ellie Gearing poke steal away. Gearing doing a nice job. That is the 7th turnover for Oglethorpe now. Deep 3 from Kennedy Lee off the mark. Rivera with the rebound. Tucker gets it ahead to Charity Cloud. Cloud can't come up with the handle. Her pass out to Delmovich is knocked out of bounds by Sydney Blankenship. And McKenna Lentich is going to check back in the game for the Vikings. And Gabby Hudson checking back into the ball game. She'll get Charity Cloud out of the game, but Cloud doing a great job running the floor there.
Yeah, and I love Coach Ritchie. He's just so positive. You know, Charity has a ball that goes off her hand, probably would have had a layup if she was able to come with a clean catch. And he's got a smile ear to ear greeting his player, just saying, great job. That's positivity that you need.
Great job dishing from Hudson to Rivera. Rivera misses 2 short ones. Skipper comes up with the rebound but gets tied up. Alex Ritchie telling Rivera, finish strong, get the ball up.
Very rarely this year have we seen Kamaria have a ball knocked away from her.
We talked earlier, she doesn't seem to be finishing with the same kind of strength and power on those putbacks tonight. She's played a lot of minutes this year. Again, having to play a lot of minutes tonight. Hudson's pass goes right back into Rivera, and there she is. That's what we've seen all year. A good power dribble, good finish. Took some contact, finished through the contact, cut the margin to 1. 24-23, Barry over Oglethorpe.
And when she's able to get an angle and get that ball up on the backboard, it's going down.
Tucker doing a good job on Kennedy Lee. Lee now taking Rivera off the bounce. Makes a backdoor pass. Unfortunately, no backdoor cut there from McKenna Lentich, so it's a turnover for Barry.
Looks like number 14, Sarah Steers, going to check in for the first time. A little bit bigger body at 6 foot tall senior out of South Forsyth High School in Cumming, Georgia. She'll be now tasked with guarding Kamaria Rivera.
Domovich, 3-point look. This one is off the rim, no good. Rebounded by McKenna Lentich, and Barry pushes it up the floor with a 1-point lead. A 2 way off the mark.
I normally know what a moving screen looks like. That looked like a drive block to get Rose Delmovich out of there. I think the Kansas City Chiefs would have been happy to have that one on the previous possession.
Can't displace a defender with your roll to the hoop. Karina Lopez in the game. She has the ball. Nice entry pass to Rivera, knocked away by Stiers. It'll be Oglethorpe ball underneath the hoop. 2:35 left in the first half. We got a tight one, very methodical ball game, 24-23. Barry leads here by 1.
This is the opposite of the Birmingham Southern game that was at 470 miles an hour.
Tucker on the drive, gets the roll, and she's fouled, and she is pumped up. Chest bumps Karina Lopez, and Tucker will go to the free throw line. Now Oglethorpe leads 25-24. Tucker will take a free throw to try to put Oglethorpe up 2.
Big drive there, and again, triple threat position. It sounds so basic in basketball, and it's something that has been lost in the NBA 2K version of the way the game has been taught. You get to that position, you put a defender on their heels, and Olivia Tucker does a great job of that over and over again.
And it really sets up your jab step fakes, and it sets up your ball fakes and head fakes. More players, we have gotten away from that. More players need to be more focused on that. Stiers setting a screen. Tucker does a nice job. Searsant with a nice elbow to clear out. No call on that push. Kennedy Lee from the top of the key is true to the mark. Knocks it down. John, you said she's a 37% three-point shooter coming in. She puts Barry up 1.
And that's the first one she's got open since early on in the game.
Overcommitted on a drive. Help side defenders caught looking. Lee wide open at the top of the key. Foul going inside to Rivera. Rivera skips outside to Skipper. Off the mark. Rivera and Barry challenging for the ball. They're going to call Searsant, saying it came off of her. And it'll be Oglethorpe ball with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. 1:23 on the game clock left in this first half.
That was just effort by Kamaria Rivera. That was want to. 2 defenders. She split them, made one of them go for the ball, and they end up knocking it out.
Rivera skip passes. Tucker for a quick 3. Goes off the glass. Rivera with the rebound. Puts it up in and is fouled. What a big possession right there.
And that was wherewithal for Olivia Tucker to realize there was only 2 on the shot clock. She's lucky it hits backboard and grazes rim. And then again, the want to of Kamaria Rivera to dive in there and come up with an offensive rebound and stick back.
One thing I've noticed, and I'm assuming, I know she can do it, but I'm assuming this was an emphasis in their game plan. We're seeing a lot of cross-court passes from Rivera out from the paint to perimeter shooters. and then she crashed the board there. Her second free throw puts Oglethorpe up 2, about a minute left in this first half. Three-pointer is off the mark. That one from Sydney Blankenship. Hudson with the defensive rebound. Gabby a little bit out of control, misses the mark on her pass up the court to Charity Cloud. Barry gets the ball. It's an area where Gabby just has to get better. She's got to value the basketball and not turn it over so much. They are going to call Kennedy Lee for the travel there. Hudson, really a talented, athletic player right now this season. Came into the game with a 1 assist to 2 turnover ratio. You really want a plus minus on that. You want more assists than turnovers if you're a guard. And she's flipped on that. She's got to really work on that. Karina Lopez checks into the game. Tucker walks it up. About a 13-second differential. Lopez looking inside to Rivera. Stagger screen for Skipper. Skipper's going to put it on the bounce. Drive. Got bumped. No call. Doesn't matter. Morgan Skipper converts. Oglethorpe up 4. Probably last possession of the first half. Kennedy Lee with it. Hudson doing a nice job pestering her on the defensive coverage. Blankenship drives. The whistle. We're going to see who gets called. Looks like they're going to get Hudson. Again, Rivera was there, dodging that call. That's going to be Hudson's first, I believe. 9.5 seconds left.
Malia Melton, the only one with 2 fouls, so Oglethorpe has done a really good job navigating this first half. They are going to get the last shot with 9.5 left. If there's a miss here, you got to grab the rebound. And you got 9.5 to get a good shot up.
Sydney Blankenship made the first to cut the margin to 3. Second free throw is up and good. Skipper to Tucker. Tucker's got to push it up the floor. Just a couple seconds left. Hudson's got to make some good decisions here. She's going to put her head down. Whistle blows, and they are going to draw a blocking call against Kennedy Lee. That is going to be Lee's second.
So far, Searzant with 2, Lee with 2, Cajoro with 2, and Wright with 2. So you're a lot of fouls right now for Barry. 2.7, Gabby Hudson going to have a chance now to give a 4-point lead if she can knock down both free throws. That was one I would have liked to see her get in the gap. She had Morgan Skipper on the left shoulder, ready to have a chance to knock down a 3.
Gabby Hudson misses that free throw. Gabby's dropping her guide hand, and I think that creates a little bit of shoulder shake. That's why she's off the mark. She's got to keep her finish up and her guide hand. She does there. Doesn't get the roll. Barry with the ball. Clock rolling down. The clock is going to run out on Barry. So at the half, we've missed some free throws at this point.
Which is very concerning.
That's interesting. I do not see her either. Remember, early in the game, it looked like she stepped on a Barry player's foot. She was a little hobbled. Rivera has a hard time handling the post-entry ball on the floor. Whistle blows. Oglethorpe just inbounded to start the second half 13 seconds ago, and it is going to go to Barry on that dual possession.
If anything's wrong with Malia, and again, I don't see her on the bench. You have 2 bench players at this point, in Charity Cloud and Karina Lopez.
Kennedy Lee just blowing right by Skipper. Not really surprised. Lee and the Barry players don't have a lot of burst off the dribble, but we are not moving our feet and defending with the on-ball defense. Right there, Lee gets all the way to the glass. Offensive rebound goes to Gearing. Rivera closes out on Callahan. Her effort is no good. Backside rebound, Sydney Blankenship coming over the back on Delmovich, knocks it out of bounds. So Oglethorpe regains possession of the ball, up 2 with 9 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, and 2 offensive rebounds there for Barry. And man-to-man, you have to put a body on somebody and do the fundamental block out, which was not done there by the Stormy Petrels.
Hudson looking to penetrate, lobs it inside to Rivera. Rivera inside out opposite to Skipper. Hudson puts it on the bounce, gets into the paint, can't convert. Looked like she got hit. The officials seeing those 2 hands straight up and down saying, well, there was no contact, but it looked like she got bumped a little bit with the body. Hudson defending. Tucker all over Lee, can't pull the trigger. Blankenship now. Gearing squaring up against Dolmovich. Rose doing a great job defensively. Hudson loses her man, and the dish goes to Barry, and Barry lays it in. Rivera puts it on the bounce, misses. Offensive rebound off of her hand. She tips it out to Tucker. Tucker gets it to Skipper. Skipper kicks it out to Dolmovich. Rose off the rim, no good. Rebound goes to Sydney Blankenship.
Good possession there. Unfortunately, just could not get the jump shot to go down, and that's a shot that Rose is very capable of knocking in.
Searzant can't convert on a layup. Oglethorpe comes up with the rebound. Tucker going to get things under control, slow it down.
I would not be shocked to see Coach Ritchie go back to the 2-3 zone. Second half right now, Barry has got to the paint anytime they've wanted and had wide open shots.
Tucker for three, right side wing, no good. Blankenship defending there. Searzant with the ball, brings it up against Hudson's defense. Dolmovich almost with the steal on Lee. Lee puts it on the bounce. Gearing from the free throw line, no good. Rebound by Skipper, gets it to Tucker. Hudson now looking. She's going to get it to Tucker on that right wing. Tucker getting it inside to Rivera. Rivera looking for the defender. They are going to call Ellie Gearing on that, and Rivera is going to get 2 free throws.
Really good patience there. Kamaria had it, and instead of rushing to take a shot, she looked to see where the double team was coming from, realized she kind of had a man-to-man scenario, and then worked it underneath with good footwork and a power dribble to go up and try to get a shot to go up and in.
John, I just saw the trainer for Oglethorpe walk behind the bench and say she is out, and I have stood up to look, and Malia Melton is sitting on the training table behind the bench. And just as I looked at her, unfortunately, she was wiping away tears. So that has got to be a little bit disconcerting. It is for me. I can imagine what it is for the coaches. We are now down to 7 players. We have 2 forwards in Rivera and Skipper that are probably going to be forced to play most of the second half. And Alex Ritchie took the timeout there, and he's got 3 timeouts left. And this is one where, as much as you'd like to, as a coach, hold as many timeouts as possible towards the end of the game.
Right.
Sometimes you're just going to have to use timeouts to give your team a breather. And again, the media timeouts at the midway point of each quarter will help as well.
I have 16 players listed on one of my original sheets as far as people that are available to play. And there's a lot of them. You know, Emma Perna hasn't played in a while. Ellie Ronan hasn't played hardly at all. Adrian Atkinson hasn't played in quite some time. So, you know, everything that Coach Ritchie's done to have this team over 500, I'm not sure that he'll win Coach of the Year in the conference, but boy, he should get some recognition for everything he's had to deal with a young team. And now here you are battling, trying to win your 13th game of the year and get back to 500 in conference play, and you're down to 7 women.
Oh, it's been masterful. His coaching performance has been unbelievable. And it's one thing when you lose a player or two, but when there's different players almost every game that have injuries or sicknesses preventing the play, and you're alternating lineups, it gets really challenging. Searzant goes by Lopez, but Charity Cloud with the great block. Oglethorpe brings it up with a 2-point lead and 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Rivera from the left elbow, no good. Nice job by Rivera just to get back. You saw her take about a half step thinking, maybe I'll try to go to get a poke steal, and then thought better of it. Searzant, actually that was Kennedy Lee, rejected the ball screen and took it baseline and drove in for a layup to tie it up at 33.
Yeah, Lee has almost half the points for the Vikings. She's got 16. Really nice offensive game, can shoot the 3, can dribble to the basket, and you can see why she averaged 12.9 points a game coming in today.
Lopez puts it on the bounce. She's going to get it to Rivera at the right elbow. Rivera with a beautiful drive, blows right by Ellie Callahan. Left hand layup good, and puts Oglethorpe Stormy Petros back up 2.
Yeah, Kamaria a lot of times will rock you to sleep, with the head fakes and the footwork. That was one she just said, I'm going to put my head down, and then getting all the way to the rim for the lay-in.
That shot by Kahora, an air ball to the right. Oglethorpe will get possession. Hudson and Domovich check in for Skipper and Tucker.
Lopez going to play multiple possessions here, and again, you're going to have to continue to cycle through. People are going to play a little bit out of position moving forward. I'm watching Malia Melton just walk by us up here. She looks to be walking okay.
Lopez from the left corner, making her minutes count, knocks down a tray and puts Oglethorpe up 5.
And you can hear the crowd just excited. You know, you got to imagine Karina's worked her butt off all season long at practice. Students know. They know you're out here every single day, and to hit that 3 has got to feel really good.
Lopez looked like she took the charge. No whistle. The official flinched, but the blow-by layup there is good. 38-35, Hudson running the point right now. Gabby has got to stay under control, and Alex Ritchie is saying, please pass the ball. There was no gap to split between two defenders. She bowls over Kennedy Lee.
And that's the second foul on Gabby Hudson. Good thing for the Stormy Petrels, though. Malia Melton, who doesn't look like she's going to return anyway, and Gabby Hudson are the only ones with 2 fouls.
4:44 left in the third quarter. Oglethorpe up 38-35. We've got our third quarter media timeout, and right now, Alex Ritchie and his coaching staff talking, discussing how to get to the finish line with 7 healthy players.
I'm a little surprised he's not switched back to zone, but Barry did dissect that zone really well in the first period. This is a game that, let's be honest, it's grinded to a halt. 17-16 in the first, 14-13 in favor of Oglethorpe in the second, and we're 7-6 so far, about halfway through this third period. So playing at the pace Barry wants, but when you only have 7, this is probably the best pace for all of us.
Yeah, defensively, you talked about that man-to-man. Again, we have not slid our feet very well on the defensive on-ball defense. Barry does not have the burst off the bounce, and yet they're getting right by the Stormy Petrel defenders. Barry will have the ball inbound, and Kennedy Lee will initiate the action with 4:44 left in the third.
This is where Gabby Hudson, to me, has to be careful. She's picking up full court. Don't get a cheap foul reaching here. You know, play solid defense. And so far, she's doing a good job of that.
Lopez, nice job there, defending Lee off the ball screen. Drive, I think they're going to get Rivera. We'll see what the call is.
That's going to be Lopez. She had a little reach, and she did. They called it. She kind of saw the blow by and tried to reach back and try to get a strip, and came up with a foul.
Sarah Wright goes to the free throw line for 2. Rivera and Lopez will check out of the ball game. Tucker and Skipper back in. You know, you talked about it earlier. You know, these players, the students know, her teammates know, comes in every day, works her fanny off, practices hard, makes her players who get the minutes better. So when you get the opportunity, I know earlier in the year she got the opportunity to play a few minutes in a game, and she took a 3, and everybody on the bench stood up. They couldn't wait to see if it went in. It didn't. She came into this game 0 of 7 from outside the arc, but she has a really pretty-looking shot, and she knocked that one down from the left corner for her first tray of the year.
It's going to be interesting. This is going to be where I think Olivia Tucker and Morgan Skipper have to be your offensive players, with Kamari Rivera on the bench.
Cloud for 3, off the mark, no good. Ellie Callahan with the rebound. Sarah Wright will bring the ball up the floor. Wright, a 5'5" junior from Madison County High School in Gurley, Alabama, in my old neck of the woods. Cloud all over Lee. Dolmovic switches onto her. Lee gets into the paint. Does a nice step through. Her left-handed shot goes well off the glass. Ball never touched the rim. They reset the shot clock. Alex Ritchie is begging. The officials telling him, I've got it, but she doesn't because the whistle didn't blow. And Usually you're going to get a little bit of home cooking. Tucker goes for the ball. They're going to say that Sarah Wright fouled Tucker on that loose ball, so things worked out in the end.
Yeah, Coach Ritchie's about to blow a gasket there, and rightly so. That layup hit nothing but backboard.
Really positive interaction. I loved, when I was coaching, I loved officials that would interact with you, that wouldn't put their hand up and say, you know, quiet coach or whatever. Right there, that official came by, and I think she explained the situation, and she was in a bad – it's really hard to blow the whistle and stop the game in that situation.
Had my first AAU tournament this weekend. My interaction with the officiating was a little bit better. I take a much more measured approach than I have in years past, and I actually got some calls in the third game. It was amazing how that worked out.
That's good. I'm proud of you.
Again, that's tournament one. We'll see in about 3 weeks.
Hudson will get it into Tucker on that inbound under. Hudson now gets 2 screens, elects to kick it out to Skipper, and Morgan Skipper with great confidence buries the tray from the right wing, puts Oglethorpe up 4.
Morgan now in double figures with 10. That's her second 3 of the day.
That's a 2 from Lee coming off the screen. She got inside the arc. We've been going under the screen, and she decided to pull up before a defender could pick her up. Skipper thought about a 3, nicely defended by Cahora. Rivera from the right elbow. Cahora flops impeccably because Rivera just set a great screen and Cahora ran into it and then flopped like you wouldn't believe. She's got a big old smile on her face like, I got the officials on that one.
So she has drawn 3 charges so far while in the game. She does have 1 charge on her own where she ran over Olivia Tucker. That's only the second foul on Kamaria Rivera. You just hate to see it on a screen.
Lee off the mark on her drive. Rivera with the rebound. They've got the advantage. They push. 3 on 3. Dolmovich for 3 off the mark. Skipper with a big rebound, and the putback is good.
Morgan Skipper, she just looks like she glides. You know, long legs, long arms, doesn't look like she's moving overly quick, and then the next thing you know, she's at the paint and doing exactly that. And I hope this one isn't called on Kamaria Rivera, and it is. And that'll be 2 in about 30 seconds now. She has 3 fouls total.
Yeah, they're going to have to get her out of the game, and not a, you know, again, I was going to say it's not a good foul, but you got to give these kids a lot of credit. You're down to 7 players. You have the lead by 4 late in the third quarter. You're playing huge minutes. Lee drives, misses again. Rebound to Skipper. She's going to bring it up the floor, makes a good decision to set it up. Dolmovich gets it to Tucker. Dolmovich has it back, and Tucker gets it to reset it. Skipper on the bounce, gets it to Cloud. Cloud drives. She gets the foul call. Searzan is going to pick up the foul call. Charity Cloud will go to the free throw line. Now, Charity came in 4 of 12 on the year from the free throw line, 1 of 2 in the first half. Big opportunity for Charity. This one will roll all around and fall. Gives Oglethorpe a 5-point lead.
Every point in a game like this is important. You know, free throw shooting, we saw it in the men's game a couple of weekends ago where they lost a couple of games just because free throws won't go in. And how about Charity Cloud? Doesn't get a lot of chance to shoot free throws all year and has stepped up to hit 3 of 4 so far on the day.
Great job there. Puts Oglethorpe up 6. 1 minute left in the third. Oglethorpe back in their 2-2-1 pressure. Cahora pushes it up the floor. Gearing missed a wide open McKenna Lentich. Cahora will take a 3 off the mark. Barry will scramble. Good hustle by Kennedy Lee, but the ball hits the sideline. And it looks like Thomas Johnson is going to take a timeout. with 49.5 seconds left in the third period. Down 6. Oglethorpe leads 45-39.
And an underrated play there by Olivia Tucker on that long rebound. The propensity of a person is normally to run it down and say, hey, we're going to have an offensive possession. She was going to be running towards a dead corner and trying to save a ball underneath. She just sort of did the, hey, I'm going to do a block out and let the ball go out of bounds, and now it's going to be an easy inbound. 30 on the shot clock, 49.5 on the quarter clock, and you can walk it up and take your time and get a quality shot. I think they're going to take it under.
Yeah, it's going to be all the way at the other end. 30 seconds on the shot clock, 49.5 seconds left on the game clock here in the third period. Berry picking up man-to-man. Tucker, patient, sets the table. Looking to take Kennedy Lee off the bounce. Gets it to Skipper at the top. Skipper. Domovich to Cloud. Cloud dribbles. Tries to hit a cutting Morgan Skipper off the mark. Berry will have the opportunity for the last possession of this third period.
And they do go back, does Oglethorpe here, to a 2-3 zone right at the end. Cloud had a good idea, just bad execution. She threw a Mike Vick-like slant route to Morgan Skipper, who had an opening on a cut.
Good closeout. Don't let him have a three. Force him to take a hurried shot. Cahora takes one and buries it. Hudson was out there, but Cahora was about 6 feet outside the arc. She rhythmed up with a jumper, knocked down a three, cut the margin in half. Oglethorpe leads after three, 45-42.
So here's where we're at leader-wise. Kennedy Lee with 18 points for the Berry Vikings. Kamaria Rivera leading the way with 14. Morgan Skipper with 12. Sylvia Cahora off the bench. She now has 6 points total. You look at some of the team stats. Game is very evenly played. Both teams shooting about 36%. Oglethorpe right now 16 of 44 from the field. Berry just 15 of 41. Berry has hit one more three. They're 5 of 14. Oglethorpe 4 of 15 from the three. Oglethorpe has had 2 more free throws made, 9 of 14 as opposed to 7 of 10. The difference in the game right now has been rebounds. 34 rebounds for the underwomaned Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels, including 14 offensive boards. That's how they're winning this ball game.
Rose Delmovich and Charity Cloud set the tone early in this ball game, crashing the boards, and 14 O boards is huge. Again, shooting 36% from the floor for the game, 4 of 15 from outside the arc, a little below their average, and they brought their free throws up 9 of 14, as you said, John.
They, after a first period that saw Berry shoot 55%, 28% in the second, and 31% in the third.
Yeah, defense has been the difference here. Looking inside to Skipper. Rivera back in with 3 fouls. Really nice stagger screen action for Skipper. Can't come up with the three. Rivera's got to be careful not to draw any charges. Domovich, they are going to call Tucker on the charge. Cahora did a nice job flopping again. Comes up with that big smile, and Alex Ritchie's like, guys, we got 3 professional officials out here, and y'all are going to get suckered into that?
That's 4 charges drawn now by Sylvia Cahora coming off the bench.
I think if you sit next to me and I sneeze, she'd flop. Berry with the ball, Blankenship on the wing. I'm a purist, man. I hate floppers. I really do. Draw a charge legitimately, I'm all over it. Layup is good, 45-44. Oglethorpe still leads. Skipper, three-pointer, up, off the mark. Rivera tips the rebound. Oglethorpe comes up with it. Hudson's going to put it on the bounce. Her runner is good. We needed that. 47-44. Oglethorpe leads, 9 minutes left.
And that's where I think Gabby Hudson thrives. Sometimes getting all the way to the rim, she's had problems finishing, but that little floater from about 12 is a beautiful thing, and she comes up hobbling now. She stepped on, I think, Sylvia Cahora's foot. Now let's watch Gabby Hudson here and see if she's able to continue. It looks like she kind of walked it off there.
Lee goes right by Domovich, lays it in, left-hand layup, cuts it back to a 1-point game again. 8.5 minutes left in this ball game.
Alex Ritchie's going to have to do everything he can to coax these women to the finish line.
Rivera on the left block. Draws contact, no call though. Finally gets a call. That one's going to go against McKenna Lentich. Rivera will go to the free throw line. 1 point lead. She'll have 2 free throws as Karina Lopez and Charity Cloud come to the table.
I watched what she was able to do to get post position. Kamaria coming down, looked like she's going to run across the baseline and then reverse pivots as she's running and sets herself up with great positioning. That's something that most freshmen don't understand how to do. You know, most people that are freshmen just want to try to power underneath and have somebody on your back. She's doing a great job with her footwork.
Yeah, I wish we talked to Alex Ritchie about the name of her high school coach at Cherokee County, and I can't remember it. I wish I could, because you can see a player like Kamaria who was really taught very, very well at the high school level, and Alex Ritchie and his staff have done a great job continuing that player development.
She makes 1 or 2 free throws, puts the Stormy Petrels up 2 with 8 minutes to go, and we're going to get a travel call there on Ellie Callahan. Good defense by Charity Cloud.
Yeah, solid, really good call, because her left foot was her pivot foot. She dragged it. She jab stepped to her right and dragged that pivot foot just a little bit. Hudson with a little bit of a grimace. No doubt she turned that ankle defensively 2 possessions ago. Playing the point right now with Tucker out. Lopez to Cloud. Cloud can't make that pass. That defender was there. Skipper gets back. Gearing's going to pull it up, get it to Kennedy Lee. Good closeout, prevents the 3. Kimura is going to be way off the mark. Air ball blocked by Skipper. Beautiful block from Skipper. Rebound comes to Gearing on the backside rebound. Kennedy Lee, Lopez has got to get out her and run her off the arc. Lopez, too much help. Rivera with the rebound. She's going to get it to Cloud. Pass to Lopez. Lopez, God love her, didn't put it up. She had the layup. Tried to be unselfish and give up the pass, but that's where you just got to go back up and lay it in. Ball kicked out of bounds by Barry. Oglethorpe up 2, 7:14 left in the ball game. Hudson coming off stagger ball screens. Kicks it to Skipper. Skipper to Rivera. I don't know how she got that ball there. In and out of Rivera's hands. I think she was surprised, because that space that Skipper somehow got the ball through was about the width and height of the ball itself. Kennedy Lee coming off the screen. She's going to get a paint touch. Callahan for 3, way off the mark. Skipper with a good box out. Lee almost got a hold there. Tucker's got to make good decisions as the point guard. Just stay under control. You're fine.
I'd like to find a 3 that goes down. I think Morgan Skipper's the only one. Olivia Tucker had a 3 early in the ball game. But outside of that, nobody else has been able to knock a jumper down, really to loosen things up.
Great drive, left-hand layup off the mark. Tucker gets it to Rivera. Got a new clock. Dolmovich with an open 3. I was about to say, I would love to see her get hot, and boy, did she bury that. Answered your call. Alex Ritchie takes a quick 30-second timeout. Boy, oh boy, did they need that. Rose knocks it down. 5-point lead for Oglethorpe. 6:09 left in the ball game. Oglethorpe will get the media timeout. They've got 2 timeouts left in the game.
And I forgot, Karina Lopez did hit a 3 earlier from the corner. Don't want to short her. They've hit 5 so far in the game. Morgan 2, Olivia Tucker 1, Karina Lopez 1, and then Rose Delmovich, her first one. And it seems like that's the first one Rose has hit in a while. I'm trying to think back throughout the year. Early in the season, she was getting a little more playing time and was really in a rhythm shooting the jumper. I remember she was our player of the game one day, and she said, hey, I'm just, every time I shoot it, I feel like it's going in. And that one was very pure and much needed at a time where the offense had really stagnated for the Stormy Petrels.
I'm not very great at giving away nicknames, but you're shortchanging Kalo, Karina Lopez, on that 3.
We've got J-Lo and we've got Kalo.
Like we had Big A on the men's team. We got Kalo now, Karina Lopez.
We may have to ask her after the game how she feels about that one.
All right, so it's 51-46 after that big trade.
Do we call Kamaria Special K?
No.
No, okay.
All right. Kahora brings the ball up the floor. Sarah Wright Gearing outside the arc. She's going to try to take Rivera off the bounce. No doubt they'll try to draw the fourth foul. They're going to take the ball. Hudson with the steal off the right pass. Hudson got to be under control. Good decision. Domovich may be feeling it. Oh, yeah, she is. Nothing more beautiful than a rose.
We've been waiting for that one for a long time. Back-to-back triples and now an 8-point lead for the Stormy Petrels. Good to see Rose just in rhythm, catch and shoot, no questions asked.
Cahora not called for a travel. Can't believe that. Morgan Skipper got lazy with the entry pass to Tucker.
And then it's going to be called for a foul. So add insult to injury. Lazy inbound pass stolen. Morgan comes in from the out of bounds, tries to get a block. Sarah Wright goes back up with the ball was rejected, but Morgan Skipper was a lot of body on that one as well.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those situations a lot of times, especially in pickup, you're so used to getting the ball out of the net, jumping out of bounds, stepping out of bounds, and throwing it in. And she did that there. Unfortunately, the defender was waiting on her. Two of our favorite people just said hello there, Jackie Schneer and Gabby Phillips, two of our favorite volleyball players for the Stormy Petrels.
And they're super supportive. They're at, once school's back in, they've been at basically every game. And you just love to see the community here for Oglethorpe. 5-point lead.
Kenny Lee all over Rose Domovich. Again, Domovich's three came off of reversals. Tucker gives it up, trying to get the ball, tried to force it into Rivera. Very uncharacteristic of Olivia. Under 5 minutes left in the ball game. 5-point lead for the Stormy Petrels. Kennedy Lee going to put it on the bounce. Drives, no good. Skipper with the rebound. Tucker's got to value the ball. She kicks it ahead to Domovich. Domovich is going to reset.
If you watch how they're playing Kennedy Lee defensively, they are making her go left. I mean, that is as hard of a hedge on the right side as possible.
Skipper thought about a three, put it on the bounce. Rivera from the right baseline, no good. Good decision by Rivera to get out of there, not get caught trying to poke a ball away. Cahora brings it up, 5-point lead for Oglethorpe, 4 minutes left in the game. Gabby Hudson all over Cahora. Lee comes off the dribble handoff. She's going to take it on the bounce, nowhere to go. Ellie Callahan for three, shoots the air ball. She has just not found the mark. She came in here 10 of 44 from outside the arc. She has missed the 3 or 4 she's taken. Karina Lopez checking in for Gabby Hudson. Charity Cloud checking into the ball game.
Barry going to pick up full court man-to-man defense. That's where Olivia Tucker really has to be solid with the ball. That was more token to make them earn the inbound pass.
Well, again, they know Lopez doesn't get a lot of minutes. Suddenly Lopez is inbounding. Might as well go ahead and pick up. Great entry pass from Skipper. Rivera steps through, lays it in, called for the foul, and Alex Ritchie points right at Morgan Skipper and said, that was a great pass.
Yeah, Cloud on the inbound or on the entry pass. The previous one, when the defender was trying to front, she threw it soft and right to the defender. This one, she led Kamaria Rivera to the basket. She had the defender sealed. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not sure where Kamaria got hit harder, on the lay-in or by Olivia Tucker on the celebration. Olivia came up and kind of pushed her right in the middle of the chest.
Rivera converts the old-fashioned three-point play, puts Oglethorpe up 8. Little bit of man full court, a little bit of maybe 2-2 that kind of fell back. They showed it, show and go. Runner from Cahora, wild shot, rebounded by Hudson. Gabby's going to have it.
I'm up here doing my best coaching. Can't see us on video, and that's exactly why.
Tucker comes up with the steal. Charity Cloud gets the ball from the steal, and we're going to get a foul called on Barry. It is going to go against Kennedy Lee. I think that's her third. Alex Ritchie talking to Olivia Tucker, no doubt, telling her, you've got to have the ball in your hands. You're the point guard. Don't delegate that to anybody.
And that was one where Gabby Hudson had it and really could have just gotten the ball across half court. and threw a soft pass the other way that was stolen, but Olivia Tucker's hustle got the ball back going the other way. Suddenly, Kamaria Rivera on the doorstep of a double-double, her and Morgan Skipper. Kamaria's got 18 and 9. Morgan's got 12 and 9. Delmovich now with 8 points and Olivia Tucker with 6. Be solid with the ball. Barry hasn't shown a propensity to really do anything super explosive offensively. Be solid with the ball, take solid shots, and with an 8-point lead, you might be able to walk this one down. Barry making some substitutions, coming in for the first time today. Reagan Sanderson, a 5'5 freshman out of Camas, Utah. I think that's the first player we've had from Utah on any sport so far this year.
Delmovich throws deep, completes the bomb to Hudson. Hudson misses a layup. She's got to hustle back on D. Barry, Sarah Wright's got a wide open 3. Rivera with a great box out and rebound. They're all over her. They clear out and let Tucker bring it up against Kennedy Lee. Tucker, I think, has to give it up. Alex Ritchie is forced to take a timeout. He is upset. He only had 2 timeouts left. He did not want to take that timeout, and Tucker lost the handle.
And none of her guards came back to help her. The only person close was Kamaria Rivera right at half court. Everybody else was way down on the other end of the court, and Olivia Tucker's going, I already dribbled, I lost it. It'll be a double if I don't call a timeout. And Coach Ritchie was livid when he decided to punch that one. Rose Delmovich, tell you, I know the baseball team got underway. She's got an arm because she threw that one. It looked like the Super Bowl, whether it was Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes, putting one on the money. Unfortunately, Gabby had one rim out on a layup where they would be up 10 points.
Rose Delmovich will inbound again. Tucker's going to go deep on the post pattern. Delmovich will inbound to Rivera, and that is a 10-second call. Alex Ritchie saying, I had 3 seconds. Women's game is clear. If you call a timeout in the backcourt, and in this situation, Alex Ritchie is saying that there is 7 seconds left on. It took them 7 seconds to get to the timeout situation.
Right.
So that meant they had 3 seconds to get over the half-court line. Now, the officials have consulted and said that the official said I was wrong. There's a second left on the shot clock, and you can see 21 seconds on the shot clock. So Delmovich is going to have to throw the ball into the forecourt. They do to Rivera, and Kamaria was confused. I think she thought she had to shoot with 1 on the shot clock. Unbelievably, she's fouled on that. I'm telling you, I wish we had a vote for Coach of the Year because Alex Ritchie, that's not Homer announcing. This guy has done an unbelievable job coaching a bunch of freshmen with different players out almost every game with injuries and sickness. And it's just, he's done an unbelievable job. Rivera misses the first free throw. Second one is pure. 58-49, 9-point lead. Charity Cloud is going to check back in for Rose Delmovich. Oglethorpe with their 2-2-1 full court, just to eat some clock, make the Vikings work a little bit. Sarah Wright's going to bust it all the way down the floor and goes 94 feet for a layup, uncontested.
That you cannot do.
Gabby Hudson gets it off Tucker's hand, and Kennedy Lee just fell right on top of Olivia Tucker. I think that's going to be Lee's 4th foul, isn't it?
I'll tell you in 1 second, Lee, that is her 4th foul. And a lot of the Barry contingent around us not agreeing with the officials very loudly. I would never yell at officials as a parent. Okay, I'm being very facetious because I have done the same and I understand frustration. What you can't have happen, and what I was saying on the previous possession, if you go man-to-man full court, you cannot allow an offensive player to go 94 feet by themselves without a pass for a lay-in, and that's exactly what happened for Olivia Tucker. 2 free throws, got to knock these in and keep it a 3-possession ball game.
Yeah, I mean, these fans in front of us, the Barry fans, go crazy for your team and get all over the officials, but I love the fact that they were screaming how Olivia flopped, which the defender fell on top of her back. and you've got a player who is like clearly won flopper of the year in this game with 4 flops that resulted in charge calls. So not that I'm into this rivalry or anything. Scoreboard's off the mark. It should be 61-51.
No, it's correct.
Is
60
it?
to 51.
Okay.
Yep, we were up 9 because Kamaria made 1 or 2 previously.
And then they scored the layup, and now we came back. Okay, so 9-point lead, 2 minutes left, just outside the 2-minute mark. Sydney Blankenship stripped by Gabby Hudson. Rose Delmovich looking for some help. Delmovich is going to try to bring it up the floor. Gets it over, gets it to Rivera. Rivera gets it to Tucker. Tucker is going to dribble it. Skipper's got to stay under control. Alex Ritchie begging Olivia Tucker to keep the ball in your hands and keep us under control. Skipper called for the travel there. 9-point lead, under 2 minutes left.
Yeah, and here's what you got to remember. Time is on your side. Barry has not shot the 3 ball particularly well. As a matter of fact, so far they're 5 of 20.
That's a travel.
And they're going to need 3 balls. Be solid with the basketball. Let them foul you. You're in the bonus. Go knock down free throws and get out of here with your 13th win.
Here's what players don't understand. There's 2 minutes left in the game. If you literally just hold the ball and don't put up a shot and you let the 30-second clock run out, you're still going to have a minute and a half left. Hudson, layup, gets hit in the face, no call, lays it in. Thankfully she made it. Oglethorpe up 11, minute and a half left. Tucker.
Now you cannot foul.
Defend the arc. If they take a 3, so be it. She takes a 2 off the mark. Rivera tips the ball. She's going to try to knock it off of a Barry player. The ball is going to go off Skipper's foot. Good call by the official there. 11-point lead for Oglethorpe. 1:16 left in the ball game.
And again, Kamaria has done a great job on the glass there. You got to grab that one if you're Morgan Skipper with 2 hands. I know it's tough. You've got defenders hanging all over you. And that one she does snatch with 2 hands.
Thomas Johnson might be, well, Kennedy Lee's getting up off the bench saying, get up there and get him. Thomas Johnson isn't. Alex Ritchie is begging, please get it to Olivia Tucker. Tucker shoots over 83% from the free throw line, so you want her to hold the ball until the last second. Delmovich back to Tucker. Tucker is going to drive and draw the blocking call. That one's going to go against Sarah Wright. Tucker will go to the free throw line. Tucker is 3 of 3 from the charity stripe.
How about 2 of our women with double-doubles? Kamaria Rivera, 19 and 10. Morgan Skipper with that last rebound now, 12 and 10. We came into the game with 3 forwards available. One of them's been hurt since early on in Malia Melton, and we hope she's okay. We'll try to get an update from Coach Ritchie afterwards as they'll get ready for the conference tournament. And you're going to need her as well as Mia Havica, Michaela Primo. You know, start naming folks that can come back. Hopefully Carly Bell.
Tucker knocks them both down and puts Oglethorpe up 13 with 42.3 left. That's hilarious. She just got pulled out of the game to allow Charity Cloud to check in to play defense a little bit. And Coach Ritchie was setting up a chest bump, and Tucker was like, no way. Delmovich, ball goes out of her hands. They're going to call Rose on that. And Rose has done a great job. Yeah. I think she's been such a difference maker. Those 2 that back-to-back 3 was the thing that opened this one up for the Stormy Petrels.
It went from 2 to 8. It was a 2-point game when she hits back-to-back 3s, and it's never been closer than 8 since then.
Kahora finally hits one from the outside the arc. They get the ball to Gabby Hudson. She throws it deep to Charity Cloud. Charity does the right thing, dribbles it back out. Lopez is going to get fouled. We're going to see Karina go to the free throw line. Second whistle here. Are they going to get Kahora with a technical? No. Just the fact that Kahora started dribbling down the court, the official blew the whistle to tell her to take a chill pill.
Yeah, I'm not sure that she heard the first whistle. She thought she was off to the races.
Karina Lopez at the free throw line for the first time all season. Tell you, she's got a great looking shot. She swishes that one. Couldn't be happier for that young lady.
Yeah.
Pressed into service, and she has made her minutes count done a really nice job. Misses that one. Barry with the rebound. They're going to push it up the floor. Hunt for somebody to take a three. Kahora will take it. She'll miss. Ball's loose. Skipper with another rebound. Clock runs out. Oglethorpe is one. We'll talk.